Yeah, well, there were in a sense, two ways of working, because before working for Hammer, there was a company here called American International, which made Vincent Price pictures, which had originally been produced and directed by Roger Corman in America. And then I was too young to know in those days, but there were tax breaks and all sorts of things were going on here, apart from swinging London, because it was the late 60s, early 70s. And it was economical to come here and make pictures, more so than making them in California. And so my first involvement, really, although having written lots of scripts that never got made, suddenly I'm in the process of making things. And the difference between writing wonderful pages of beautifully typed material and the rough and ready of making a movie was extraordinary. And with American International, as long as Vincent was happy, Vincent Price, it didn't much matter what you did. And I struck up this wonderful relationship with the director called Gordon Hessler, and had a kind of on the job apprenticeship, really, in a sense. And it was an apprenticeship in the way America makes movies, the way Hollywood makes movies, which I didn't realize. I thought it was just Gordon's ideas. But in fact, it was the way the thing is done, with the beats and so forth and so forth. And then later on, doing the McKee story workshop, I realized that a lot of what he was teaching, in fact, was the Hollywood way of working, which is kind of curious. So that was kind of very rough and ready. With Hammer, it was the opposite. They'd got this organization down to a T, wonderful kind of team of people who'd been more or less working with them, what would it be, almost 15, 20 years by that time. And they knew how to do it, and they didn't particularly want to do it differently. And where with the Vincent pictures, as long as Vincent was happy, you could do whatever you wanted, within a certain arena, of course. With Hammer, the difficult thing was to get them to do anything different. But we struck it lucky because they'd got a relationship with the two major financing organizations in the country at the time, which was the cinema circuits, Rank and A.D. Pathé, EMI, and had contracts to do 6 films a year for each of these companies, which is extraordinary. They were making 12 films a year, which nobody does anymore. And so the flexibility kind of came in, because nobody could really control us too much. But the thing was, it was how to maximize the low budgets we were working on. How did you get value from value for money, or more than money? And so what one learnt in a way was how to cut the cloth according to whatever the phrase is, and to be imaginative and to be creative within the structures. And I thought of horror in those days as being like the kind of English Western. There were conventions, and having seen lots and lots of movies because of my, as it were, apprenticeship at the NFT in places, watching other people's films, you got a sense of what the genre rules were, so you could break them or adhere to them if you wanted to, whatever made sense. So it was a sense of having structures, I think, and continuity. These were the things that were coming under it. The important things that are missing now